Okay guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel again, and today, what are we going to talk about? We're gonna be talking about how was the TRIBIT StormBox 2 in, so in 2 weeks, how was this speaker? After the usage for almost 2 weeks, well let's say 2 weeks, how was it? Okay, I don't really see any problems with this speaker. Only the Bluetooth connection. Sometimes it disconnects. Sometimes the volume. That's the problem I have. The volume sometimes it gets out of sync. What I mean by that is the speaker's volume is not in sync with the phone, so I have to do a factory reset on the speaker so I can bring the to make it in sync again. So it's quite hassle, but well, factory reset can fix that, but I wish TRIBIT will put up a new firmware that maybe fix the Bluetooth function, something like that. I know it can be fixed by a firmware update. So, but anyway, that's the only problem I saw about this speaker. Now there's nothing more. This speaker in 2 weeks, it's actually very great. Yeah, sound wise, although it's actually quite hard. So quite hard to find the right tuning for this speaker, especially in its EQ. In its customizable EQ, it is hard to find the sound. So I did get the sound signature of the Flip 6, but I changed it a little bit. So yes, since the JBL Flip 6 is quite harsh, especially on higher volumes, so TRIBIT, I made it more treble boost, because the tuning itself, the original, is actually quite, well, I don't say muffled, but it's very well, it sounds neutral, so it's not that unlike with the JBL, but I kinda, and so I think we're talking about still with the EQ. Okay, EQ, yes, it's quite hard to find the best tuning. Well, actually, I'm still finding it. I'm still finding the best tuning it can get. I don't recommend maxing out the bass because it's gonna distort the speaker. I mean, yeah, you got the freedom to max out the bass, but I don't really recommend, because it can gobble up the other frequencies. That is not great. You don't really want to hear only bass and not the spectrum of the sound itself. Now it's the good thing here is it should sound the best it can be. Now I have the initial tuning already, but this is not perfect because I don't find it the greatest. I have a clarity tuning, but it's quite harsh. Since, yeah, also especially this speaker is a 360 speaker, so it has speaker on the left side and has one on the right side also. So tuning this speaker to a directional speaker like the JBL Flip 6, it's actually harder, because if you go too harsh, and if you go to its one of its side, it's not gonna sound so pleasant. So we also cannot really max out the treble unless if you own the StormBox Flow. The StormBox Flow is a directional speaker. If you are using it vertically, you can place it horizontally, so it turns into a 360 speaker. But since that one is an up-firing 360 speaker, it is a different story. This type of a 360 speaker is there's two speakers but on the side, so it's not a very even out sound of a 360, but there is a very small difference from the front and the back and both of the sides. So yes, it's hard to tune this. We cannot really max out the treble because it's gonna sound harsh on its side. We're trying to tune this on its most optimized sound for 360. Not so hard, not so harsh, not too harsh, but not too muffled. If you understand what I mean. Charging. So charging this, I don't recommend charging this on fast charger because it's written on the back that it only supports DC 5 volt. It doesn't support any fast charging, and I don't recommend using a fast charging for some type of reasons like affecting the battery life and breaking the charging board. It's gonna burn them, right? This is not like a phone that can be charged in a wide variety of voltage and wattage, something like that. No, it's not. So it's written on the flap that it only supports DC 5 volts. So the thing I have a 2 charging adapter for speakers that I used before. I have 2. The other one is a fast charger, and this one is just normal. I always use this one for speakers, even on the JBL Go 4. I use this sometimes, but I don't recommend because it heats up. So since it heats up, it can burn the components inside and yeah, break the speaker. We don't want a new speaker to be fixed. Well, it's a new speaker. It's newly released, and it's just gonna break just because of charging it on a fast charger. So I don't recommend using it on fast charger. It charges quite long. It sometimes takes too long. Well, it depends if you charge it from drain to 100%. I always charge this about 20% or 40, something like that. It takes around 4.5 hours, something like that. So yeah, it took some time to fully charge this. Also, if comparing it to the Flip 6, charges for just two and a half hours, which is quite short, to be honest. But for the 24 hours usage, this speaker took me about a few days before I drained this. That is continuous use of that days that came by. Well, there's a short break, something like that, like a lunch, because I always use this speaker when I'm sitting here on my desk playing games, something like that. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I use the JBL boombox because sometimes I do want to get a little bit louder. It took me around a few days before I drained this speaker. Also, it depends on the EQ you're using. So if you use the X bass off, it's gonna last longer. If you use the X bass on or the X bass mode, it's gonna shorten the 24 hours. Well, X bass off, it can last long for 24 hours in 60%. Now it will differ on the type of EQ you'll use. So I don't really use the okay, let's talk about the aux port. Well, for me, they can remove that already because I don't really use the aux port anymore for casual listening. Since I have a sound system here, the Altec Lansing Octane 7. So I don't really use this on my laptop for sound system. So they can remove the aux port and it's not really a big deal anymore because but the good thing about this thing, it still has the mic for calls. But enough talking about the speaker. I'm going to let you hear one of my EQs, not all of them because I have a bunch of EQs and I will let you hear them. Just give me a second. It's already connected. We're just gonna go with the sound test. Now this is set it's now set on one of my EQs, and it's one of my customized EQ. Now let's play the music. 50% volume. Yeah, so that's a short sound test. We don't want to get a little bit more longer now. So yeah, this is the StormBox 2 after 2 weeks. No problem whatsoever, only the connection. Now earlier, before I recorded this sound test here, I did experience a lot of things. It doesn't want to connect that fast, so I have to factory reset it again, so it's gonna connect. But anyway, this is the StormBox 2 after 2 weeks. There might be a next speaker, maybe. Well, wait for a new speaker to come. I know there will be another one. I'm not gonna sell this guy. Well, not sure, but yeah, I'm trying to keep this speaker. But there will be a new speaker to be reviewed and to be criticized. That speaker really needs to be criticized. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to never miss another video something like this about speakers. And see you on my next video.